You'll win somehow, so give up on the battle, baby. It's hard, I know.
Hey, what's up guys? One of the most common questions that I get is what are some foods that I can pack for school and work that are going to be easy, aren't going to cost you a bunch of money, that aren't going to take a bunch of time to cook up every day? So I'll show you a few examples here, and I know that none of this stuff is earth-shattering. It's pretty basic stuff, but maybe you just need a few ideas here. And also, you can obviously just go out anytime you want and pick up something that'll fit in your diet, but if you're like me, you don't want to spend all that money. So I'll usually pack like 3 times a week, and then a few times a week I'll go out with coworkers. So find a nice little balance there, whatever works for you. Although it would be nice just to go out every day, I can't lie. So here are the foods I came up with for this week, and for breakfast it's almost always the exact same thing. So I have some overnight oats here, and all I have in there is some pumpkin, yogurt, oatmeal obviously, almond milk, and a scoop of protein powder. And then in here is just protein powder and oatmeal, which I will heat up. So I know, tons of variation there guys, but do whatever you like. For me, oatmeal is just the most convenient thing, and it's also one of my favorite foods, so it works out pretty well. And then over here is just pasta, and this is what I do when I'm in a time crunch. I don't have a bunch of time to cook something up for the week, and this is just so easy. It's so cheap, so all you have to do is boil some noodles, add some meat and some sauce, and you are done. So that is going to be this week. And also another idea is I'm reluctant to show this to you guys because it doesn't look good, but remember guys, I'm not a master chef over here, but you can just bake up a casserole and divide it for the whole week. So last week sometime I baked up a casserole and then I had some left over, so I will pack this for lunch as well. And that's pretty easy guys, so you just make a big batch of it and then you are done. Another tip I'll give you guys if you're in college, this is what I did all the time because usually you don't have access to a refrigerator and you probably don't want to pack like ice packs and whatever coolers or however to keep your food cold. So what I would do was I would take this the night before, I would already have it cooked up, put it in the freezer, and then I would just bring it to class with me. So that way, you know, when I got to class, I could just put it in a microwave. Most campuses have microwaves, so if it was a night class, it was already defrosted, it just worked out perfect, and if it was in the day and it was still a little frozen, I just put on defrost, and there you go. So I'll try to throw some more clips in here once I make up some different foods for different weeks, and hopefully you guys get something out of this. I really hope this clip makes it in the video where I'm showing you guys foods to bring to school and work, because if not, it's going to make it in the food failures video, which I never want to happen, but there's just some clips that end up there inevitably. So I've never had this before, and it seems kind of interesting because it's going to be another take on overnight oats, but it's going to be adding carrots. And carrots and oatmeal, I'm not too sold on, but I love everything carrot cake, so we'll see how it turns out. I just got some oatmeal, some Greek yogurt, some caramel syrup, about half this bag of carrots, and some sugar-free syrup, cinnamon, and some of this hazelnut syrup, just for a little bit more sweetness. So if you guys are seeing it in the food video or in the video where I'm showing you foods to bring to school and work, that means it is a success. We're going to consolidate some workout footage here, starting with my upper body day, and I went into this workout feeling pretty rough. So as I mentioned in a previous video, I had squatted 3 days in a row before this, so by the time I actually got to this point, I was kind of beat up and I was feeling it all over, but I got loosened up pretty well. And then I'm starting with 225 pounds for 6 reps of touch and go bench press. And I was kind of dehydrated from the night before, so there's just a bunch of things going through my mind, but this is one of those workouts I was able to just press through it. It's one of the very few times I was just ready to get in and get out of the gym. Usually on the weekends, I'm more than happy to stick around and even do some extra work, but right after my last rep of what John had programmed for me, I just called it quits. And there I was doing an AMRAP set, and I got the 8 reps at an RPE of about 10. So that's kind of new. He doesn't usually program anything like that in. So that's going to be fun in the future to see if I can get up to 10 to 12 reps
I would really like to be able to hit 225 pounds for 15 reps, but we will see. And then I'm doing some closed grip bench press here, and afterwards I'm going to move on to a machine exercise that you probably have not seen me do in a very long time. Sorry about the bad angle here, guys. I don't bring my tripod into the gym ever, so every angle you see me get, it's when my camera is laying on a box or another machine. I'm just not ready for the tripod thing yet. I'm guessing that's what most people do, but that's just such a hassle. That's what I really love about having the boxes back there in the deadlift section, or whatever you want to call that back section of the gym you usually see me in. And then afterwards I moved on to what John calls the twist press, which, I mean, I don't know. This is a very interesting exercise to me. I don't think I have it down yet. You can see I'm still misgrooving every other rep or so, but I'll get it down here in the next few weeks. And after the upper body day, I'm going to move into the following day, which would actually, I took a day off and then I moved into my deadlift workout. So we are actually doing some higher rep work on deadlifts as well, which seems to be the trend of this phase. So I'm doing 6 reps here with just 335 pounds. Nothing too challenging at all. I'm only working up to an RPE of about 7.5. The nice thing about the lighter weight is I'm able to pay a little bit more attention to form than I am when I'm using up to 90 and 95% of my 1 rep max. And some of the comments I got back from you guys was to start with my hips in a higher position initially to prevent them from shooting up so quick. So that's what I'm trying to do. I really appreciate that feedback. I think I'm doing a better job. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But overall, I think it does look better. This is just my second set of 335 pounds, and after I complete this set, I move into 2 more sets of 6 reps, but I bump the weight up to 265 pounds, sorry, 365 pounds. And still, it's nothing very challenging. So that's one of the nice things, is I'm able to hit these reps with the given RPE, and I think that's going to be pretty critical during this phase, because I cannot be working up to such a high RPE like I was doing in the last phase, given the volume that has increased. And I'm using a different bar in this workout than I'm used to using. The one that I usually use was Taken, and if this was like a 1 rep max type of day, that just would have been a game changer. I don't know if I could have handled it, guys, but since this is a high rep day, it wasn't as big of a deal. This bar seemed to have a little bit more slack in it, but it didn't seem to make that much of a difference. Usually I try to hold as many variables constant as I can, so I try to get the same bar, if I can, the same location in the gym, the same plates. And when you have bumper plates, it's pretty easy to identify which are which, and I usually try to get the newest bumper plates that the gym has, because you see like the older plates, like the yellow ones on the end there, they're pretty beaten up, so people just throw them all around and they're pretty chipped and cracked. And I know this is very minute detail, but I mean, it does make, or it could make a difference, and if I can just hold that constant, I might as well. So if something does go wrong, at least I'll be able to identify it a little easier. So that's just probably me being anal, but you know, it is what it is. So after that, I moved on to the boarded bench press, and I'm getting used to this now. It's very awkward when you first start doing it, but I think I've been doing it for 3 phases now. And then lastly, I end up with some pull-ups. Camera's out of focus, so I'm gonna shut it off quick. Just want you guys to believe me here. So that's the video. I will talk to you guys very soon.
As you guys can probably tell, I'm in desperate need of a haircut, so that's what I'm going to do on my lunch break tomorrow. The problem is, by the time I get there, get my haircut, talk with my barber about all my life problems or whatever, there's not a whole lot of time to eat. So I try to pack something that's going to be easy to eat while I'm driving in the car, and this is a real skill. You're going to have to acquire it. It's going to take a lot of practice, and I'm pretty good at it, so I can eat almost anything while driving. The only thing I have not been able to conquer is a Chipotle burrito. True story. I've tried, and it just made a mess all over the place. So this is what I'm going to be packing tomorrow. I just got a ham sandwich on a hamburger bun and 2 servings of these pop chips. These things are really good. The macros are not as good as rice cakes. However, you can eat them in 1 bite. And unlike the rice cakes, because when you just take a bite of these big ones, it just makes a mess all over the place with crumbs. And trust me, I had to clean out my car for about an hour because I was doing that. So the macros on here are 5 grams of fat, 21 carbs, and 2 protein. Also got some strawberries over here. Gonna be a little trickier to eat while driving, but trust me, I can do it. And you might be thinking this is, you know, not quote unquote that good for you, or it's pretty processed. And I would agree, but that's life, guys. You're gonna have these days where you just don't have time to sit down and eat whole foods or eat things that might have a little bit more micronutrients in them. So just make up for it later in the day or earlier in the day. You're gonna be all right. We all have life to cater to, guys. So that's what I'll be having tomorrow. And also, I got some more overnight oats. I figured you guys are getting sick of this, but got some fudge brownie for tomorrow and some more pumpkin for the day after. So that's gonna do it. Alright guys, so to finish off this video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite things to pack and also one of my favorite ways to just cook in general. So you're going to need a bachelor baker, aka a crock pot. And also, I would pick some of these up. This is a crock pot liner. One of my friends was telling me about these because she knows that I always use them, so she bought me some. And here it is. This makes cleanup so easy. All you have to do is take this out, throw it away, then you don't have to clean the crock pot at all. I mean, how much easier could it possibly get? So what I like to do, I mean, obviously, you can put any kind of meat in here, but I like these pre-seasoned pork fillets. These things are delicious and they have great macros on them. So we're looking at, per serving, let's see, 4 grams of fat, 2 carbs, and 19 protein. So I'm just going to put that in there with some chicken broth so it doesn't burn, and then in about 6 hours I will show you guys the final product. So I've just let this cook all day and then I pulled it apart, so we're going to have some pulled pork here, and that is about done. Sometimes what I will do is just throw some potatoes and vegetables in there and then you have everything you need. What I think I'm going to do this week is actually make up some basmati rice to have with it. So I'll just put that in there, make up about 8 servings or so and divide it up in between all of that, and that's going to be it, guys. I just divided them up and then added some vegetables to each of them. These are just frozen vegetables and you don't even have to cook them. All you have to do is throw them in here because they'll defrost when it's in the refrigerator, and then when you go to microwave this, it'll cook through, so it's pretty easy. And I'm actually going to go ahead and freeze one of these because I know I'm going to be going out to lunch at least twice next week, so I'm just going to move one of these to the week afterwards, and as long as it's frozen it will stay. So give this one a try, guys. This is my favorite option because of how easy the cleanup is. All I'm going to have to do is throw this bag away. Alright guys, so there's some ideas for you. I really hope that this video was value added, but if not, please let me know. Was this just like common sense, like duh? I mean, anyone can think of these things. You're not doing anything for me. If so, please let me know because I want that feedback. But if not, if you guys want more ideas, I also want to know that because this isn't the only thing that I'll pack. I mean, if you guys want some more examples, I can do that. Do you want them in its own video like this, or do you want me to just throw random clips throughout other videos? So please leave that in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.